And hello from Lights and Gear, time for a flashlight review, and I have one here from Sofirn. This is the C8F. I've had pretty good luck with Sofirn flashlights up until now, and I own a few of them, and have found them all to be of pretty good quality. So anyway, this is the C8F, as you can see here from the box, which doesn't have a whole lot of information outside of the sticker. It is a 3500 lumen light, so it really gets out there as far as brightness is concerned. It has 3 Cree XPL LEDs, which it uses, and the 21700 battery is its intended power source. It does come with a battery, so it doesn't leave you out in the cold as far as what you need to have to be able to use the light right away. And popping open the little box here, here's the instruction manual, and let's see, here's the English side of that. Get to that in a second. You have a little packet here with the spare, or rather, yeah, spare O-rings are in here, plus a nice, rather decent lanyard. So that's all in this little pack. Here is a USB charging cable. Here is a USB portable charger. This is not bad. They give these with a lot of Sofirn lights, and it'll take a little while to charge the battery. Not quite as powerful as a large main charger would be, but it'll do the trick. And with a USB, of course, you can charge it in any USB source. So not bad at all. And here is the flashlight, along with an adapter for an 18650 battery. So you can use a standard 18650 if you wish, and you would use the adapter so it doesn't rattle around inside the light due to the slightly thicker tube. So here's the light all bundled up, and it's of reasonable size, about 5.5 inches, and has a reasonable head on it here. Here is the LED, or the LEDs, and it's in the little cluster of smooth reflectors, so it has pretty good beam distance on it as well. So here are the Cree XPLs, and it is tactical, but it works via the side switch and the rear switch, and you can use either one. You can turn it off and on via the side switch or via the tail switch, so you can have your choice of how to operate the light. And some rather nice aggressive knurling here around the light as well to keep the grip nice and sturdy. As you can see, there is no pocket clip on it, but it does come with a lanyard, so you can use it that way, of course. So let's delve into the particulars of it first. The battery, by the way, let's show you that. Here's your spring in the tail cap. And here is their Sofirn battery, which they include 4000 mAh, 40A. So this has a pretty high discharge rate. It is a 21700. And this is what they recommend you use. It is a flat top, so obviously other flat top batteries will work fine. There is a spring up there inside the head. And the adapter, of course, as I kind of explained a moment ago, would simply take an 18650 into the tube and into this tube and into the flashlight tube. So however you wish to play that. If you have a high capacity 21700, you'll get longer run time than you would with an 18650, but I have tried it with both batteries as far as the output, and I don't see any difference. So theoretically, output is the same no matter which battery you choose to use. Now there are actually four groups in this light, so you can choose which group you want the light to operate on, and changing it from one group to the other is very simple. It also has a ramping group as well. So as well as the standard groups where you have low, medium, high, turbo, etc., moonlight, whatever, you can also ramp it instead of going through the standard modes. And if you can see here on the chart, it does show you which modes are available under which group. Group 1 only offers medium mode. Group 2 offers low, medium, and high. Group 3 is the one that it was already set to when I received it, so that was the default group. So Group 3 has an economy mode plus low, medium, and high, and then Group 4 is only ramping. That's all Group 4 does, is ramp, and all groups include Moonlight and Turbo, as well as the modes that are explained in that group. And there are the run times for each group, and Turbo seems to get on average about 45 minutes on the 21700 battery. And the beam distance is not too bad either at 299 meters. And it's also impact resistant to 1 meter and IPX8 for water resistancy. Therefore it is submersible and waterproof to IPX8. Working voltage, by the way, is to 4.2, so that's a little on the low side. It will not take double amounts of batteries. It'll only take a single battery. It won't take CR123s or 16340s or anything of that nature. It'll only take the one battery. But it has some nice features on it, which I'll get to in a second here as well. Now, turning the light on is as simple as pressing the side switch, if that's the way you want to set it up. That's the way I have it at the moment. By pressing the side switch, I just get instant light, and then by clicking the switch, of course, it'll ramp up through the other modes. And I have it right now set on group number 3 at the moment, because that's what the default is. And you see the green indicator here in the light. As soon as you put the battery in, I believe the indicator comes on, and as soon as you turn the light on, the indicator comes on, and that is actually indicating the strength of the battery. If this is, let's see, where does it say that in here? If it comes on when you turn it on, and if the battery or if the indicator is solid green, then that means it's pretty well charged. That means it's like between 3.4 and 4.2 volts if it's steady. So generally it'll just be green most of the time, unless it drops to under 3.4, and then it'll be red. So that's how that works. And but if you want to turn it off, now you have to press and hold it to turn it off. Now you can also use the tail switch as well, or instead of, I should say, the side switch. But in order to do that, you have to have the light already on, and then you would have to click it off via the tail switch. Instead of pressing and holding the side switch, you'd turn it off via the tail. Then when you go to turn it on again, you can click the side switch to turn it back on. Now, of course, it's also momentary, tactical in other words, so I can half press the switch and get momentary light that way. Now, so that's the tail switch working at that point. But when it's on, if you want to turn it off via the side switch, then you can press and hold. It's theoretically in standby at this point, and to turn it on again is just simple as pressing the side button, as you can see. Now, as far as changing the modes is concerned, I won't go through each of those modes because I kind of did describe them. But to change them, you have to have the light on. And, oh, by the way, let me show you the Moonlight and the Turbo. Let me do that. So, when the light is off, let's hold it there and turn it off. So when the light is off, you can do a holding press, and that will turn it on in Moonlight. And that's very, very, very dim, and could be very, very handy, of course, in pitch darkness. So here is moonlight, of course, and that's great for reading something in a tent or in bed late at night, you know, that kind of thing, or whenever you happen to be in bed in the dark. If you want to look at something briefly, you can use moonlight in that fashion. And so then to get, that's instant moonlight at any time. Now if you want instant turbo, again, the light can be either off or on in that instance. In other words, if I double click, I'll get to instant turbo. And of course you could do that with the light off as well. Now if you want strobe, you have to press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you get instant strobe. And then a click like that just turns it back to, I believe, well, that went back to moonlight, so must go back to the mode it was on before. So that's 3 clicks for strobe. And of course memory function will always return it to the mode it was on previously. So let me show you again, or start to show you again, regarding the changing of the operating groups, if you will. So I'll turn it off, but I'll turn it on because it has to be on in order to do that. And to do that, you press the button fast 4 times, and I've learned that it has to be pretty darn fast in order for it to register. And then when that's done, it will double click to confirm the change, and then you'll automatically be in the next group down. So right now I'm in, or was in, or am in group number 3. So if I do it 4 times fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, there it blinked. There it blinked, and it effectively went into ramping. So right now if I press and hold, it'll ramp down, and of course go all the way down to moonlight. And then if I press and hold the other way, it'll go all the way back up to turbo, and then it'll blink when it gets to the top. And in the case of the ramping on this light, it'll do what other ramping lights usually do. If you stop and wait a few seconds and then press again, it'll go in the same direction it was going, or if you do it quickly afterwards, it'll go in the opposite direction. So that's the ramping aspect of it. Now, if you want to take a look, actually let's turn the camera over here so we can take a look at that beam, which, sorry, we haven't done up until now. Let me do this. Let me go all the way down to low, or this is in effect, I suppose. Yeah, this would actually be moonlight that it goes down to. So there's moonlight once again. And click it a little bit up, and click it a little bit up. And we'll go right up to turbo. It gives a quick blink, and this is turbo, very, very bright, and against the white wall, incredibly bright, and has a nice center spot. It's not overly focused, it's just a nice broad spot with nice spill on either side. Nice clean beam, and does very well in any situation. Now as I hold on to it like this in turbo mode, the head is starting to get rather warm, which is naturally expected. So holding again will decrease the output. Let's now, while we're talking about beam pictures, take a look at a couple of outdoor shots so you can see what it does in that regard. And there you go, a little piece of the outside there with the Sofirn. So anyway, this is the flashlight. I hope you like it. If you do, there is a link below where you can check it out and pick one up on Amazon for a good price, of course. And there's also the link for my written review where you can see more outdoor beam shots and read more about the light in detail. Plus the same Amazon link is part of that as well. It was supplied by my friends at Sofirn, so I hope you found the video useful, of course. And if you have questions or comments, do, of course, leave me leave me something along those lines below. And for more, of course, flashlights, batteries, and chargers, you can take a look at lightsandgear.com. But anyway, this has been the Sofirn C8F with a 21700 battery and about 3000 lumens of pretty darn good brightness. Very nice flashlight. I would recommend it. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We will see you around. Take care.